Look, you tell me first, did you feel that backhand?
Yeah. Wow. Oh. Yeah, definitely. But I think it hit me like on top of the head. And it sort of just like sort of fuzzes you, and then you just come back to it and you're like, oh, you cheeky kind of, you just push on. So it was good, man. And then oh, no, fuck, keep your hands up, so it was good.
I feel like there's a big difference between being the most famous fighter in the world and being the best fighter in the world. You know what I mean? And I feel like when people see me, I want them to say, fuck, he's the best cruiserweight in the world. I don't want them to look at me and go, oh, he's a superstar, he's the most famous. You know what I mean? It's two completely different things.
James Turner for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. All right, so you can consider this video right here a follow-up video, a bit of an aftermath video in regards to Jai Opetaia and his knockout victory over David Naika. You know, another sensational knockout, highlight reel knockout for Opetaia. I think at this point, when you consider the fact that he's a lineal champion and the fact that Opetaia doesn't really have he doesn't have letdowns in performances. Like when he fights guys that are not on his level, he displays that and he shows that time and time again. He did it with Oleksandr, he did it with Jordan Thompson, he did it with David Naika. And then when he's fought the top guys, like, you know, only top guy he fought Briedis, but Briedis is one of the best cruiserweights ever. Briedis gave him everything he could handle, and he still had answers for him in that fight. And has two quality wins over Marius Briedis, right? So I think with each passing impressive performance from Opetaia, you're looking at a guy that I think has a legitimate case to be on the pound list right now. Not if he beats Zordo, not if he beats somebody else. I'm talking about right now, he has a case, right? With that being said, I wanted to talk about the possibility of Opetaia taking on Oleksandr Usyk, because there's been a lot of talk about Opetaia, or I should say Usyk, There's been a lot of talk about Usyk being returning to cruiserweight, because he stated himself he wants to come back to cruiserweight and try to become undisputed at cruiserweight. And obviously, if he's gonna ever consider doing that, it would have to, he would have to get through Opetaia, because Opetaia right now, as it stands, he's the best cruiserweight in the world, and he is the man who beat the man. Shout out to the Ducks. Shout out to the Ducks. But he's the man who beat the man, and he's a tough guy to really to deal with for 12 rounds. I mean, somebody on Twitter, I saw a tweet where somebody described Usyk versus Opetaia as the Southpaw dancer versus the Southpaw destroyer, and I thought that was like the perfect way to explain the fight, because if them two fight, that's exactly what it is. Usyk comes from that Ukrainian school of boxing, very educated, measured footwork. He understands distance, he understands rhythm, he understands timing at a deep and a profound level that most fighters will never understand it at, right? In Opetaia, I don't think he has the stamina of the Usyk, or even like the foot, like he doesn't have the footwork of an Usyk, but he's got some serious ammunition, some serious stump, some serious punching power. And I think like anybody who fights Opetaia, for the first 6 rounds, you better be defensively responsible, because if you're not, you could end up like Ellis Soro, like Jordan Thompson, or like David Naika. Now, obviously, those guys are C-class opponents compared to like guys like Briedis or Usyk, who are clearly A-level cruiserweights. Opetaia has never knocked out a true A-level cruiserweight, so what that tells me is that there's still some room for growth with Opetaia. There's still some know-how that he needs to start achieving in the boxing ring to knock out an opponent of that caliber. But when you think about a potential Usyk versus Opetaia matchup, how could you not be excited? How could that not get you, over the moon as a boxing fan? Usyk don't got a lot of time left, and if he comes back to cruiserweight, this is going to be the best fight to make in the division. And I think it's fair to say, I mean, Murat Gassiev could punch. Briedis could punch. He fought some punchers in his time at cruiserweight, but I don't think Usyk ever fought anybody during his time at cruiserweight who had the blend of speed, power, and finishing ability like a Jai Opetaia. All those guys like Briedis and Gassiev and those guys he fought back in the day, Glavaki, really, really dangerous men, but they have more of that heavy-handed power. And when guys, with fighters who have more heavy-handed power, it's not as quick. Opetaia has a beautiful blend of just being a little heavy-handed, but having a lot of speed and a lot of bad intentions behind his punches. And I just think Usyk never really fought anyone I could say like had those kind of attributes. Not to put those opponents down or say that Opetaia is better or worse than those guys. I'm just saying he's different, you know. I would like to fight. I would obviously favor Usyk because I think Usyk is one of these fighters that really and truthfully, you know, he's one of the most well-conditioned fighters that ever lived. You've seen him how he's dealt with guys in the World Box Super Series back in the day. You've seen him with Fury. You've seen him with Joshua. He's shown world-class conditioning no matter how big his opponents have been, no matter what style they had, no matter what they brought to the table. And so I think if they were to fight, that would be the difference, his conditioning. But like I said, he can't have like Dubois, you know, in some people's opinions, mine too, hit him with a clean body shot and he probably should have got it stopped. But he can't, in my opinion, he can't have a moment like that against Opetaia. Because if he has a moment like that against Opetaia, he's getting put out. He's going to get knocked the hell out. Opetaia is, as crazy as it may sound, because Dubois is now one of the heavyweight champions, Opetaia is a lot meaner than Dubois. You know, Opetaia won't like drop Usyk or, you know, he won't let Usyk up hook if he hurts him. I just can't see it. I can't see a guy with Opetaia's temperament and the way he fights letting him off the hook. So that's the intrigue of the fight is, you know, one guy is going in there to destroy, the other guy is going in there to dance. And I think that the dancer will dance his way to a UD probably and beat him. But Opetaia means business. And one thing I love about Opetaia, as you guys saw in the beginning of this video, is Opetaia is a fighter that he's not looking to be the most famous fighter in the world. He's not looking to be a superstar. He's looking to be the best fighter in the world, you know? And he made a great point. A lot of boxing fans and a lot of the media, they confuse with being the most popular fighter with being the best fighter in the world. It's like, no, they're two different things. And he understands that, like, there's a big fight from him on the horizon. If he's either going to get he's going to get Zordo Ramirez in a unification, he's going to get Beterbiev, or he's going to get Usyk. He's going to get one of these three fights here in the near future. And I think it's going to be a potential for Jai Opetaia to have a coming out party. It'll be a potential for Jai Opetaia, I think. If Opetaia were to beat a guy like a Usyk or a guy like a Beterbiev, we're talking about Opetaia now thrusting his name into the conversation of being the greatest Australian fighter of the 21st century. I mean, at that point, you be talking about a guy that's a fighter that's a lineal champion, world champion, and then to have a win like a Usyk or a Beterbiev on his resume would just like really take him to the next level. So I genuinely feel like, look, Opetaia is I think his biggest flaw is probably, I think in the back half of fights he does fade. I think his gas tank is a tad bit questionable. That's what Breeders showed me in the rematch. But every fighter has weaknesses, and fighters can improve on those things, and I think Opetaia does have the capabilities to improve on that. So all I'm saying is it's very possible that the best Opetaia hasn't come yet. And if Usyk is serious about coming down to cruiserweight, this is a guy he's going to have to face. And I'd love to see it, because never in the history of boxing have we seen a guy become the undisputed cruiserweight champion, then go up to heavyweight and become the undisputed champion, then come back down to the cruiserweight and become champion again. It's never been done before. Holyfield never did it. David Haye never did it. O'Neal Bill never did it. None of the old cruiserweights ever did it. So if he does try to execute that idea he had, he'd be going for even more history and trying to add to his legend, put some more cherries on top of his already amazing career. So those are just my preliminary thoughts as I walked in the park, enjoying the views here in Tokyo, and in Japan, not in Tokyo, but here in Japan. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you guys think about a potential Usyk versus Jai Opetaia fight? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you click right over here.